Hello, everyone. I'm Ken Mestemacher, a director of research here at Edison Group, and I'm pleased to be sitting with Gianmarco Orgnoni, CSO and CMO of Vection Technologies. Gianmarco, thank you for taking the time to speak with us today about Vection. And to start, congratulations on the good news from the recent quarterly activities report. And what are you most excited about?
Thank you, Ken. It's always a pleasure to be here. So the last quarterly was a really good consolidation of quarter. The company was able to improve its cash inflow position. We're able also to really consolidate a cash position at the end of the quarter, which was in line with what we disclosed to the market prior on cash management activities. And also we continue to invest in infrastructure, in people and IP development to really pursue a growth strategy for this fiscal year as well. During the quarter, also the company advanced the commercial activities, specifically within the service agencies, sports and betting, media and communications, automotive and naval sectors. But what we expect to be a very critical sector and industry moving forward in the second half of the fiscal year is really the defense and aerospace sector. And towards this goal, we actually signed some agreements, but maybe we can chat about it a little bit later. And the strong acceleration that we expect in defense and aerospace is what we also expect to drive a significant portion of the growth in the second half of fiscal 2023.
We've been reading in the news about your two latest agreements regarding space travel and the metaverse. And would you talk about those and what it might mean for Vection?
It's a very strong combination of technology and like this industry, which is space travel and aerospace. So if you think about the metaverse, it really promises an imaginable future for digital travelers. So it enables them to gain and experience unique opportunities. If you think about it, you can essentially travel to space. You can travel to the moon, and in a virtual environment, so completely safe in the walls of your home, and really experience something that up until a couple of years ago was impossible to imagine or even experience. So one of the agreements we signed was called Lunar City, which was an agreement, an MOU initially that we signed with one of the largest international manufacturers of satellites and space modules, which is Thales Alenia Space, a very innovative multimedia group called Next One Film Group, and also a aerospace logistics technology engineering company called Altec, which is also owned by Thales Alenia Space as well. And for us, this means to really be aligned with some of the major critical players in the aerospace industry. So we're talking Thales Alenia Space, for instance, but also to be really positioned at the forefront of this revolution, which is space travel, and to couple this kind of revolution with our technology capabilities. So it is really, really exciting to be part of this group.
So, we've heard of a lot of things going on in the space travel sector. And what sort of market potential do you see there? What sort of use cases might these agreements open up for Vection?
Well, the global space tourism market is a very big market. So I think it was valued around 700 million in 2022 and expecting to have like over 40% compound annual growth rate from 2023 onwards effectively. So the market is very big and is growing at a significant pace. And this is very important to actually start measuring the opportunity in the market. If you think about the use cases in particular, is a little bit what I was mentioning before. So you've got virtual reality tourism, metaverse tourism. So you've got the metaverse, the technology that enables you to digitally travel compared to physically travel to some places you'll never be able to reach in your lifetime. So if you think about it, it will allow. One of the things we're developing with this group, and in particular the last agreement we signed with Next One Film Group, is going to enable people to learn and experience the environmental conditions in space in lifelike scenarios. We're talking kind of digital twins essentially, in places such as the moon, Mars, the International Space Station, and so on and so forth. So users can really discover. So you've got the discovery piece, so there's an educational piece. You can learn how to survive in a space environment through kind of a gamified environment. You can discover what resources you can find, for instance, on the moon, and also discover what the International Space Station really feels like and what's inside of the International Space Station. So it's very, very exciting, and the use cases are really only limited by imagination. We can develop anything inside of these digital environments.
Yes, that's just amazing, that sort of potential, that this really opens up. Especially, space travel for those of us who will never have that opportunity. Let's talk about a different growth driver. We know partnerships are key to Vection's growth, and you've really built an enviable list of partnerships, such as the one with WebEx by Cisco. Can you discuss, how is your partner ecosystem working for you nowadays, such as the WebEx one, and what sort of impact has it had on Vection?
So it's a very big and growing ecosystem on our side, and it's really starting to become something of a significant size for us also to manage. So this is all good things, and it really creates a big opportunity for us in the second half of the fiscal year, but also moving into the next fiscal year and the fiscal years to come. One thing that could have been deciphered essentially from our last quarterly was that a big portion of our TCV, so our total contract value for the year, really was coming from the service layer. So these are companies that offer a service on top of the Vection Technologies technology offering. So we've got the solution, we've got the product, and on top you've got a service that these companies and these agencies provide to the end client. So this is very important, always to couple the technology piece with the service layer as well. And this is a big part of what we do as part of our ecosystem strategy. With Cisco in particular, we've been working with them for quite some time. And just for, let's say, the listeners that don't know, we developed the first WebEx extension into the metaverse, where users can not only see themselves and talk through WebEx, but they can also meet in a virtual environment, like with digital twins of their products and collaborate like never before. So it's a really, really exciting and powerful solution that we've developed. So with Cisco in particular, we've been working a lot on activities and events. For instance, the last one we participated in was the Cisco Live in Amsterdam, which was a fantastic event. A lot of interest from the general market, and we're seeing a real uptick in terms of end user interest and business interest into the metaverse and virtual reality, extended reality technologies. So this is very, very powerful for us. And at the same time, we've really been expanding our product portfolio to really fit within this kind of growing interest from the market itself.
So the metaverse, it's a very fragmented industry, and you mentioned it. And an important part of your growth strategy, involves acquiring firms such as JMC and Mindesk. I know you can't disclose a lot, but can you tell us some about how the market is looking for acquisitions and what sort of companies you might be interested
Yeah, so the let's call it the metaverse industry, or the XI industry, is a very fragmented industry indeed. So it's really dominated by a lot of smaller kind of players. And I personally believe that Vection Technology is one of the only players at this kind of size. And obviously, we're one of the only ones that are looking at expanding not only the technology capabilities, but also the market capabilities. So we can think about the different technologies, such as the expansion into artificial intelligence, industry verticals, so really being specialized in a variety of specific industry verticals. We can think about automotive, naval, general manufacturing, aerospace, like we just discussed, defense, and so on and so forth. And we're really developing a unique market offering that we call integrated XR. So we're from the XR layer, so virtual reality, augmented reality, and 3D. We integrate with existing systems, different softwares, hardwares, and other technologies, like I was mentioning before, artificial intelligence, and to bring them to market something new and innovative that's not existing today in the market. So at this moment, we've got a number of potential transactions that we're assessing internally. And this is something that we're really looking to do as part of our FY23 strategy.
Yes, it sounds very exciting. And I know the second half of the fiscal year is going to be important for Vection, and definitely something we're looking forward to. So as investors, what sort of things should we be looking out for, in the rest of the fiscal year?
Yeah, so the second quarter in particular, just to take a step back, was a little bit slower than what we expecting due to the macroeconomic shifts in the general marketplace, but specifically within the European kind of economy. However, that said, we've seen a very significant, say, growth and very upbeat, I would say, start of the third quarter of fiscal 23. So we have the agreements that we're expecting the second quarter coming through. A lot of sales activity coming to fruition in the third quarter. So we expect a very strong and exciting third quarter, but specifically even more a very strong and exciting fourth quarter, where a lot of the activities we've been working on for the last 3, 4, 12 months as well are really coming to fruition. So we're really, really excited about what's to come in the market today.
Again, congratulations on the great news from your quarterly activities report and the two latest agreements. We appreciate you coming and visiting with us today, and have a great week.
Thank you, Ken. It was a pleasure.